Hey, what's going on, everyone? Um, this is a video about my mining rig that I built in my last video, and I was having some issues with this rig. I'm just gonna restart the miner and show you the hash rates that I'm getting. I already covered that in the last video, but I've found some overclock settings for the RX 480, and I'm going to be covering today in this video how to bring down your power consumption, and also some settings that I did to the motherboard that made the rig stable. Because what would happen is the rig would go down uh, within 2 hours to a whole day. Sometimes it would mine for like 36 hours and then it would crash. So what I did is I went into the BIOS setting and I had to activate a setting that wasn't the advanced settings on the BIOS, but it was with Intel CPUs or motherboards, it's called XMP, and then with Ryzen they call it DOCP. And what it is, it's a automatic profile setting where it can set your RAM and the system itself to work at a higher, I guess, frequency, and that was 3200 megahertz at a 1.35 volt millivolt rating with the RAM speed, and it just helps to create a slightly more stable and more powerful system. And I'm only running like a 8 gigabyte stick on the rig, so you should be running 2 RAM sticks. It creates slightly more stable system, but I'm just using 8 gigabytes of RAM. And when I changed the setting to DOCP on, that also helped. And then another setting you should also set up was it was the PCIe lane times 2, which is your PCIe lane speed. In the motherboard settings, there will be a setting under the PCIe lanes to change it from times 4 to times 2. I'd also recommend changing it to times 2. It just creates the risers. They have, like, I think a slightly better, a stable power draw, and they can mine slightly better, especially when you're running risers on the computer. And the other thing that I also swapped out were the risers itself, because I believed I had a faulty riser. And since I changed these two settings, the last setting I did was I disabled CMS. I think it's CSM. Yeah. Disable the CSM in the BIOS, because that will also help just run hardware slightly better and more stable. So I also disabled that, and I believe it also helped. So after doing those 3 settings and replacing the risers, the mining rig, it ran slightly better. And I'm just going to open up a shell. So as you can see, with my Radeon RX 480, I'm getting 72.3 mega hash. However, I am using 112 watts, and for me, I feel as though that the watts is slightly high for when I'm running, for 24 hours a day. And what I'd like to do is I'd like to bring those watts down, and be able to mine at a relatively high mega hash rate, but then also have a slightly lower power draw. So I'm just going to boot into Hive remotely through the shell. When you load this up, you type miner on the keyboard and push enter, and that'll take you into the mining process. So you can see that the default I guess overclocks that the cards are using is 1342 on the core clock, and then the memory is 2000 megahertz. and it's pulling around about, about 1500 to 1140 millivolts for the RX 480. So the RX 480 is using slightly more power than the RX 580, but it also is getting a slightly higher mega hash rate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close the shell, I'll leave that, and I'm going to stop the miner, and I'm going to apply some overclocks that I've found. And you can also apply some advanced overclocks in advanced amdmemtweak, where you can add the config. So I'll mess around a little bit with that later, and I'll show you guys how to, I guess, set some parameters that will give you a even higher mega hash rate. But I'm gonna use this mega hash overclock. Sorry, I'm gonna use this overclock that I found, which is 1150 on the core. And then for the voltage, you want to set this at 915. And then for the memory overclock, you want to set this to 2150. And then for the voltage on the memory, you want to set this at 860. And I'm going to hit apply. So you want to see this here. And just let the overclock apply before you start the mining process. I do recommend that instead of changing your overclocks while the system is mining, that you actually stop the miner and then apply your overclock and then restart the miner, because otherwise you can get crashes, and it can be very annoying having to like go to the machine, because my mining rig's actually downstairs and it's 3 stories below me, so I have to go all the way downstairs to power down or hit the reset button on the rig, which can be super annoying. I did have like a remote Wi-Fi hot plug, but I mean the fuse in that started to get a bit temperamental when I was mining on it, so I don't really use it anymore. But I can control the rig off my phone by doing hard resets with that. So I'm going to give this a refresh. It's been enough time now for the overclock to be set in. And then on the miner, I'm going to restart it. And at this point, you can also open up a shell if you want to have a look into the mining process itself. So I'm going to hit refresh. And I've already done a few videos on overclocking the RX 580. So I'll probably apply some overclocks to that at some point. But over the last week, I've just been, I guess, like mucking around with the rig with no overclocks yet. Just seeing how it performs. Just seeing how long it can mine for, just with the cards all on their default settings. So I'm going to open up the shell, and then into the keyboard you want to type miner and push enter. And as you can see, the rig is now mining. I'm using a mining pool called Enigma Pool. I think they're really good because they've actually got 0 fees. And you can see here what's happened is actually really interesting. So we've gone from, I think it was 112 watts. My pen's out of, here we go, 112 watts on the RX 480. And now we've managed to drop, let's push H. Okay, so S for statistics. Okay, so we've managed to go down to 66 watts. So if we go 112 minus 66, we're going to get 8. No, sorry, yeah, 6. We're going to get 6. 600 and I think it's 50. The difference is 50. I'll just check that. So yeah, from my math here, I've managed to delete 56 watts of power use. I'll just reconfirm my math. Yeah, so I've managed to get rid of 56 watts of power by applying this overclock, which is really, really good. However, we've lost hash rate, so our new hash rate now is 61.69 mega hash, and we were getting around 72 mega hash. So that's I think that's a 3.31. That's a 831 plus the 2, so that's a 10.31. I'm just going to recalculate that again. We've lost 10.31 mega hash. I'll just confirm my math with the calculator. So 72 mega hash minus 61.69, yeah, equals 10.31 mega hash lost. However, we've managed to get rid of 56 watts, and then we've lost 10.31 mega hash. So losing, I guess, losing mega hash is never a good thing, but also bringing your watts down is also a very good thing, because it's not also you want to find an equilibrium point, but then you also don't want to push your cards to extreme, because say for an example you were running the card at like full blast for years, that GPU is going to wear out a lot faster with more volts traveling through it. The components are probably going to decompose at a faster rate when it has a more high amount of energy and electricity moving through those components. So if you bring the millivolts down and the volts down to where the card is, like it's not drawing as much power, it's not having as much juice running through it, then that GPU is going to perform better for a longer period of time and not wear out as fast. So that's also something to keep in mind. And I've had GPUs before where, like in the winter, downstairs was very damp, and some of the components got corroded out by all of that extra moisture in the air, because we also live close to the ocean and there's a lot of salt. So one tip that I would also recommend is make sure wherever your mining setup is, the climate of it is nice, dry, clean air. Use lots of silicone bags. Try to make sure there's no mold, because all of that air traveling through the GPU, it can wear out the components. So theoretically your GPU should last even more than 5 years if you have the right conditions, and then the right overclocks really set up for it to mine with. It could last you a lot longer than 5 years. But like all computer components, they eventually will decompose, and then they'll have to be replaced at some point. But hopefully, guys, in 5 years time, your computer components will have paid themselves off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can. I will leave the mining going. I'm just going to see if I can. Like I said, you should be shutting the miner down and whatnot. But I'm just going to see if I can get some slightly better tweaks with the mining process running. So with Autolikers, it's a bit more core dependent than memory dependent. So having a higher memory clock to a lower core clock isn't the best for the mega hash. So these voltages, they seem to be working quite well. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to slightly reverse the core clock and the memory clock to where the core clock's a bit higher, and I'm going to bring that memory clock down a little bit. Because what I think this overclock was for, this was for Ethereum, being a bit more memory clock, I guess, bias, like it's more higher on the memory clock. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that down to 2100, and then I'm going to take this up to 1200, and I'm just going to hit apply, and I'm going to see if it crashes or if it remains stable. Saying that I've got one invalid share. Another place where you can check your overclocks is if you push, S on the keyboard, you can see here the memory clock now is 1200, and then, sorry, the core clock is now 1200, and the memory clock is now 2100, which is that setting that I created. And Ergo will fluctuate throughout the mining process. So what is more important is your peak mega hash rate. So, as it's generating the table height, the mega hash rate comes down, and then it mines that, and then it keeps going through its loop. That's how the mining process with Autolika sort of works. So we've now achieved a mega hash rate of 64.34 mega hash, and our watts have increased by, I think that's 2. So we're now using 67 watts of power. So again, quite a significant improvement for the RX 480. I'm going to see if I can push it a little bit more on the core, and then each time you do it, I think it's probably good that you bring down the memory at the same amount that you're putting up the core, just so that balances out, because whoever spent the time to find this overclock for Ethereum, they probably spent a lot of time using these millivolts, so it's sort of balanced out, where if you leave the memory too high and then keep pushing up the core, the card's going to need a lot more power, and it's probably going to crash. So we do have a hardware error, which is the HW1, so that's a really bad sign. You can see the power is also spiking. My other card is actually doing 160 watts, which is way too high. Hopefully we don't get too many more hardware errors. I don't like how low the mega hash is dropping, so potentially this overclock is too aggressive. I'm going to push S on the keyboard, so you can see that things have gone again a bit more stable. And now we're getting 67.64, so that's even higher again. So I'm going to benchmark that. 67.64 mega hash at 67 watts. We're getting some shares coming through, so that's a good sign. Okay, Let's see if we can get this even tighter. I'm going to go 1250 on the core clock, and I'm going to reduce this by also 50. I'm going to hit apply, and we're going to see if we get a crash. If we get a crash, then I'll probably go back to this overclock and I'll halve that again. So I'll go to 25 and then 25 down on the memory. But hopefully all goes well. Okay, so our watts have increased now, so we're doing 69 watts, and it looks like we're going to get a slightly higher megahash rate on this new overclock that we've set. So at peak power, it's saying it's drawing 105 watts, but I don't think that is consistent throughout the mining process. And I'm not going to do the RX 580 on this rig today. What I'll do is I'll save that for another video purely on this rig. I'm going to probably do some more advanced overclocks this time for the RX 580, but I'll leave that for another video. This video is purely about the RX 480, and this GPU is BIOS modded. I've done a red BIOS editor timing strap mod. I've put out a few other videos on how to do that modification. You can do it from Hive. It's a really good mod if you want to get even more performance out of these GPUs for Ergo mining. Okay, so we're getting 70 watts now, and I'm just gonna hit S on the keyboard. So yeah, 67 again, 67.08. S again. Okay, so from 64.34, we're now getting 67.08, and we're doing 70 watts. Let's see if we can get any more performance. So this time I'm going to do 25, so I'm going to go 75, so 1275, and then I'm going to drop this another 25, so 2025 on the memory. Let's hit apply, and hopefully we don't get a crash. So I'm just going to write what I had down. So we had 1200 on the core and 2100 on the memory for that one. Okay, for this one, oh yeah, we've got a crash. So what I'm going to quickly do before the computer freaks out is I'm going to revert back to what we just originally had. Okay, I'm going to exit the shell. Sweet. It looks like the mining rig is decided to not crash, which was lucky. And first things first is I'm going to start a new shell. Sometimes also what you can do is you can run those core and memory megahertz on the cards, but all you might need to do is you might just need to raise, you know, your VDD and your MVDD, which is your voltage for the, you know, the core and the memory, and you might just need to bring that a bit higher, and then that way it can maybe support that type of core and that memory for the algorithm without having a crash. So that is a way possibly to find out if it works or not, but it can be a very long drawn out process. So yeah, it's sometimes better just to do a lot of deep diving on the net to see what other people have done. It can save a lot of time. So yeah, this is a Samsung 8GB RX 480, just your stock standard, was it your Sapphire cards. So let's go back into Hive. I'm going to restart the miner. I'm going to type miner. So yeah, we've gone back to that overclock. I've been writing all of this stuff down. It's really good when you're doing this to have a notebook, so you can sort of not get lost with your benchmarking. So let's put in, yeah, here it is. So for the core, we've got 1250, and for the memory, we've got 2050, and we're doing 69 watts, and we're getting 67 mega hash. So I'm really happy with, you know, with the, I guess, the overclock. I've lost now, I guess it's 5. So I've lost 5 mega hash, but from 112 watts to now 70 watts, we've managed to shave off, yeah, like 42 watts of power. And in this last part of this overclock, I'm going to go over how to even get that mega hash rate even higher. So I'm just going to pull this up. This is called Hive OS AMD tweaker. So in some of my Windows mining videos, you can, let's move this over here, a second. In my Windows mining videos, I use a tool called AMD Tweaker tool. And the good thing about Hive OS is they actually included that off a GitHub sort of packet where they put the same software into their operating system. And I spent a long time sort of playing around with the Alpida cards, and what I found was where is it? I think it's the CAS timing strat that can increase your mega hash rate. The TRP, and I think it's the RFC, that can also increase your mega hash rate, and also your RAS timing straps, and then also your refresh time for the GPU, that can also affects your mega hash rate. So I believe it is the RFC. You want to lower that down. You want to increase your RAS. I think it's, yeah, that needs to be increased. You want to increase your refresh rate, and there might be a few other little tweaks that you can do, but I haven't really found too much for auto likers that affects the algorithm, so, or your mega hash rate. So I wouldn't really muck around by changing some of the other ones, but there definitely will be some extra mods that, you know, haven't been yet discovered for the RX 480. So if we get what we need to change, I'm just going to pull up one of my older videos where I do the 580 on, here we go. So yeah, I get around 74 mega hash on the RX 580, and it's the RAS timing. So the TRC, you want to have that increased, I believe it is. No, lowered. Yeah, I was lowering them down. And you can see with 580, I've got quite a high core and, you know, like quite a low memory. And I'd run, you know, the millivolts up at 1,000 to get that stable. Refresh rate at 50. I found that mining for long periods of time, having a 50, I think it's 50 millisecond or 50-second refresh rate, it's too high. You probably want to max that out at about 45 or like 40, maybe 42. So yeah, what else have I changed? Yeah, the RAS, I'll lower that. Okay, and the RCDRA, yeah, and the RCCDR, that's lowered to 20. Okay, so TRC. It's really hard to actually find the benchmarking of the settings that are going on in HiveOS. I haven't found a way to find that information yet. I'm pretty sure there will be some commands available through, I guess, Linux, where you can find that out. But let's enter some of these in. So if you go to add config, I'm just going to put this over here. Advanced config. So for Polaris, Samsung, blah blah blah, for Micron, Hynix, so I'm a Samsung memory type. If you want to know your memory type, you just look underneath the card, it'll tell you your memory type. So we are going to chuck in this, and we're also going to add some extra parameters sort of labeled out. I'm going to use the mouse. See how it's dash dash CL20 and then space dash dash blah blah blah. So what you want to do is you want to go space dash dash, and through using the table here, you want to know what to change. So I think it's the RC, right? Or the RRD. So back on my video, just going to exit this, make this full screen in a different time. Give me 1 sec, guys. Okay. Yeah, so it's the RC. You want to lower that. The RRD. Yep, the RAS timing. So the RAS timing, RC, RRD. Yep. So it's the second one over. Yep, okay. So it's the RC. For this here, RC dash dash RC value. So it is lowercase. So dash dash RC value. Okay. So in this, you want to go. And let's try 51. We're also going to add a few more. So you can leave that one. The RCDRA, that needs to be tightened as well. So look for it here, the RCDRA, yeah, RCDRA. That needs to go down, RCDRA. Yeah. So RCDRA, and then we're going to put 21, and then this one here, we're going to put 21 as well. I'm going to change the refresh rate also to 30. Fuck it, should I go higher? No, I'll leave it at 30. Now if the card crashes, I'll probably suggest lifting these up by 5 and then see if it's stable and then go back down by 1. Okay. There was one other one, which is the RAS timing strap. So this one here, M3 MR4 bracket RAS 38. So find this one here, the RAS dash RAS dash RP. Music 1, music 2. No, just leave those. Yeah, the RAS. Yo, Lady the River. Yeah, the RAS. So we'll make RAS 30 or 31, 35. You just want to bring it down. So just make sure that, yeah, these two ones here. So the PA2R data, the PA2W data. The next one down is your RAS. So it does have that here, PA2 data, so this one here. So you want that one. And we're just going to do, I'll do 35. So we're mining, we're happy. Let's get a statistical benchmark. So we've got 67.12 mega hash and we're using 69 watts of power. And we're going to do this advanced configuration that I've just gone over with you guys, and we're going to see if we get the exact same watts, and then we're hoping that we get a significant bump in mega hash rate, so like your hash rate, and fingers crossed the card doesn't crash. What I will do so I don't want anything to freak out. I'm just going to go copy. I'm going to click cancel. I'm going to close this, and I'm going to stop the miner first. I'm going to refresh HiveOS. Just give it a little bit. And also, guys, if you find this really helpful and you're still watching, then please like this video, subscribe to the channel, because I put out a lot of good content to do with mining, and you can save yourself a lot of time and energy and find out things that are really going to potentially make you a lot of money in this channel. So please give me a like and give me a subscribe, because it would mean a lot to me. Alright, so let's go back onto the card, go to config, and we're just going to paste that back in. Paste isn't there. Okay, so Control V on the keyboard, and we're going to click apply. So this little MT that shows what I've set, and that's some advanced overclocking. You feel free to write that down. I'm not gonna, I might copy and paste this into the bio description if you just want to copy and paste it from your end. But yeah, I mean, for the RX 480, like, you can pick these cards up now for like $200. You can BIOS mod them. You can set these overclocks. You can get a really low power draw of, what we found out was 69 watts. Nice. 69, nice. And then, you can get a relatively decent mega hash return, I'd say. It's not as good as the 30 series NVIDIA cards, but for the price of these cards, you could pretty much buy, like 4 of them for the price of one. RX 3700 or RX 3800. Build yourself an entire rig, and like, say for example you get 70 mega hash times 4. That's 280 mega hash, right? And 69 watts times 4 at 279 watts. So it's like literally like a mega hash per watt. And, like 200 times 4 is only going to set you back $800 for 4 of the cards. So to me, mining's all about performance for the money, because this equipment needs to pay itself off. And really, it just comes down to the calculator, guys. Like, I mean, you can, if you've got the money, then just go for the 30 series. But if you started out like me and you were on a tight budget and you just wanted to, like, find, I guess, the best bang for your buck, then go with AMD and follow these videos. So the overclock is set. I'm going to open up a shell, and this is the moment of truth. Will the card crash? If the card crashes, then it's all good. I'm just going to slightly change the amdmemtweak settings and try it again. But I'm basing the assumptions of this off the RX 580, and they're quite similar cards, so hopefully it should be all good. Okay, we are ready to go for a burn on it. Okay, so Let's restart the miner. Start miner. That's not a good sign. I believe it's crashing. Oh. Oh, 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 oh. Okay, hopefully we're good. Let's leave that. Yep, I don't think the rig crashed. So let's have a play now. Let's have a play, and let's lift these up by 5. So let's go 6. Let's go 40. Let's go 25 for the reference. I don't want to lift these too high, but let's just try 24. 24. Hit apply. Minus stop failed. Fuck. I might have to give the computer a hard reset, guys, because I think it might be frozen. So just bear with me. I'll do a video edit when I come back upstairs, and we'll see if we can get mining on these overclocks. Give me a second. Okay, welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Okay, so I've given the miner a hard reset, and it seems to me like it's still not liking these tweaks. It's kind of hard to tell when I don't have the shell open. Hopefully we can get in mining. Booted. Nah, it crashed again. Okay. Okay. Let's I'm gonna open up a text file. Text. And then just chuck that there. All right. Let's just try this. Maybe the refresh rate's a bit high. Let's see if we can even get into the shell. So I'm just clicking the refresh. I might need to give it a hard reset. Yeah. Sweet. I'm not going to fuck around with this anymore. I'm just going to go give it a hard reset with these AMD tweaks right there. Oh. Oh, oh. We might. Yeah, we are in action. No. It's still having a rough time. Let's just get rid of it. Let's give it a refresh. And let's go stop miner. Leave that. And restart the miner. Okay. Let's open up a shell. So we're back mining. I'm going to open up the shell. Now I do want to see if I can find out what the card is running right now with these overclocks. So I'm just going to do a bit of research. Hive OS AMD tweaker download. Hive OS AMD tweaker C through screen commands. Spelled that wrong. AMD. Okay, Hive OS commands. GPU info timing strap info. Okay. Might be worth doing this on Windows just to see the timing straps. See if I can do it from this. Work options. Nope. AMD-info, maybe. Might try one of these. Okay. AMD-info. Okay. Let's go AMD-info. Is that working? No. I'm gonna reopen a new shell. Let's get rid of that. Okay. Give this a refresh. Yep. Give this a refresh. Whoa, 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 we had a crash, I think. Yeah. Maybe it's going to rebuild it. Okay. AMD-info. So it's showing the refresh rate. We're at 100% load. Okay. Let's try AMD COVC. AMD COVC. Nah, that doesn't show me what I need to know. Let's try this one. AMD mem info. AMD mem info. Nah, doesn't tell me anything. How to see AMD tweaker settings on Hive OS. Download and apply time to download the software launch Just see if there's anything available online. RX 480, 8GB, AMD tweak settings. Ergo. What do you got, my bro? Dun-dun-dun-dun. All right. Let's go mine up. In here. So I'm just going to do your stock standard AMD tweak ref 20. I'd love to be able to download the current information to see what is currently set. So if anyone knows the Linux command to view that, then please let me know in the comments. Okay, let's hit apply. Let's push S for stats. Let's see what our refresh rate can get us at refresh rate of 30 on the RX 4800, 8 gig. So far, 20 seconds ago. So far, not much. We've actually dropped 1 watt. We're at 68 watts. 67. 62. There you go, 67.35. Maybe a slight increase. ever so slight. I'm going to try RC64. Like I was saying, I really want to be able to benchmark this. Might have to do it in Windows to see what it's running at these overclocks. Because what happens is when you're using the GUI amdmemtweak tool in Windows, like on some of my other videos, you can set all your overclocks and then start mining, and then it'll automatically start running the these memory timings, and then you can see what the card's deciding for itself to use, and then you can tweak them after the mining started. It's really hard to like make a start, because if it's deciding it wants to use something like 75 and then, you know, I'm dropping it to 50, it's too aggressive. So it's just really difficult to find out like where it is currently. So I'll try 64, I'll see if I get a crash to apply. Wow, look at that. 71.6 mega hash, and the RX 58 is almost hitting 80 mega hash on that. That's ridiculous. Well, it's looking good. You know what I mean? Like, looking really good. I don't have a crash. So I've managed to set the RC timing strap. Hard to say if it's doing much right now. I think I want to lower it and see if I can get a bit more performance. I want to see a stable 73, 74 mega hash out of the RX 7800. But remember, we've shaved a lot of power off the card, so we might need to raise things like the voltage to support that timing. But at 68 watts, that's really good for 67.06 mega hash at 68 watts. You know, that's more mega hash per watt, which is very, very efficient. So it's looking good at this overclock, guys. It's looking good. Okay. Let's drop that one. Set apply. See what we can get. 67.75 mega hash at 68 watts. Not bad. It's just not too consistent. $67.68. Start writing these down. Okay, 67.68 mega hash at 68 watts. That's pretty good. Let's see if I can get it even tighter. Yeah.
I'm just trialing a product down your toilet to try and get rid of that backscale.
I'm busy right now.
Don't use the toilet.
Okay. Okay, 67.10, and it's a crash. So let's stop the miner. Let's lift that to 3, hit apply. And then restart the miner, close the shell, leave that. Okay, so don't lower the RC on this card past 63. RC 63. Happy days. So this card seems to be stable now. 68 watts. We managed to achieve a mega hash rate of 67.86 mega hash at 68 watts. So it's almost a mega hash per watt. So I'm pretty happy. I know you can achieve more, but I mean, from our original start of where we were at 72 mega hash at 112 watts, it's very drastically improved. We've managed to increase the efficiency a lot. So let's just see if we can do a few more mods for the sake of the RX 4800 overclocking video. Let's change the refresh rate to 35 and hit apply. What you can also try doing is you can also try to increase the millivolts, like I was saying before, and then try with that tighter timing. But just bear in mind it will increase your power, and we're trying to keep our power down. Not much improvement from a 30 to 35 second refresh rate. Not much improvement at all. So just give it one more chance. Yeah, not really. So what we'll do is we'll keep that at 30. And we'll just try to increase everything, all the volts a little bit, and then bring that RC down and see if we get another crash. Probably will, but we'll see. What I might try to do, guys, is I might try to lower the memory megahertz frequency, and I might try to lower that RC mod even more. That potentially could get us a slightly high mega hash rate while still using these similar amount of watts. 67.16. Yeah. Not really. So it's actually worse. Okay, I'm just gonna write everything down again. So our core is 1250. The volts is 915. The memory core is 1250. And then the voltage is 870. Oh, sorry, 60 before. Let's just reconfirm that the hash rate is not as good. Yeah. Okay. So let's go back to what we had. It was stable, but we're going to go back to what we had. We're going to click apply. 67.68 mega hash at 68 watts. RC is at 63. Yep. Okay. I just want to do something more. What I want to do is I want to increase the core voltage. I'm going to go up quite significantly on the core voltage, and I'll see if that gets a crash. If it doesn't, I'm then going to raise the core clock. I do expect now the watts to increase. So our power wattage has gone up and our mega hash has gone down. So we're now at 73 watts and the same mega hash rate. It's not really improved. If anything, it's gone down. But we're going to bump this now to 75. Hit and apply. So yeah, I mean it's core dependent, right? 68.4 mega hash. But we've gone up 5 watts. I guess you just got to decide like where you want to sit in terms of your overclocking. Like, do you want to have like a mega hash per watt? Do you want to have, you know, slightly more watts but then a slightly high mega hash rate per card? It comes down to the mathematics really, because if you're paying, you know, 20 cents per kilowatt hour or something like that, then these minor differences make a lot of difference over 24 hours of mining, up to 365 days of mining. So it just depends like where you want to go with your hash rates, I guess. 68.88. Power is spiking to 113 watts. That's gnarly. Back to 73. Yeah. $78.77, 74 watts. Let's do the res. I'm going to try 40 on the res, guys. if we get a crash, I might just take it off, or maybe put it up to 50, see if we get a crash at 50. Hopefully we can bump our mega hash rate by lowering that rads down. .4 mega hash at 74 watts. Seems to be good. When you're doing overclocking, do one thing at a time, because then it's trial and error. You can make minor tweaks, and then if it fails, you can just go back to what you had. So I just shaved, I think it was 2 millivolts off the core, and I just want to see if that's stable, and hopefully we can bring the power down. Yeah, 68.4 mega hash. Yeah, it looks like it hasn't really done anything. 68.41. Yeah, it's still using the same amount of power. Hasn't really done anything. So I'll bring it down a bit more, right? Let's go 65. 945. Okay. I think we're just losing mega hash, really, aren't we? 68.45, yeah. Oh, no, 68.37. I'm just worried that it might make it a little bit unstable. .45. It's the best benchmark I've seen so far. 68.45 mega hash. 73 watts as well. So we've actually managed to increase our mega hash and lower the watts. Oh no, we're back at 74. It's probably going to bounce around that 73, 74 watts. Let's lower this raz timing strat to 38. I'm probably gonna end the video there, guys, and then see how stable this hash rate is over a longer period of time. But yeah, if you enjoyed, you know, the I guess the hash rate overclock tweak that I've done, then yeah, please like and subscribe. I'll probably be trying to increase this past that 70 mega hash rate, and then I want to keep the power. I want to get the power back to around 70 watts, and then try and get the mega hash rate up at 70 mega hash. And then if I get more cards, you know, more RX 4800s, then I feel as though that would be quite a good area to sit in terms of this car's performance. But I'll just try one more. One more mod on the res. Okay. So yeah, we got a slight increase just there. I think it's 68.76, 68.22. So that was a nice little bump on the res timing strat. 68.22 mega hash at 74 watts. Like that is very energy efficient, man. Like 74 watts at almost 70 mega hash. It's mean. Oh, actually, did we? I've written down here 68. 68.45. I saw it 73. 68.38. Seems to be a bit more consistent, I think, with a slightly better res timing. Oh, here we go. 68.71. Yeah, that's more like it. 74 watts. Nice. Cool. Yeah, guys, I'm going to end the video there. So, just to recap, this is the overclock here. I've got 1275 on the core. I've got 1945 millivolts for the voltage. The memory clock, I've got it set at 2050. And then the memory voltage is at 860 with a fan speed at 80. The card is 48 degrees. So I mean, I can set that to 50. I mean, I'm pretty happy with that temp. The temp is not an issue. I mean, you'll find with Ergo mining, the temperatures stay pretty low. $68.85. 68.85 mega hash. That's 74 watts. So yeah, I think I've just got back here on my notes. We managed to achieve 67.64 mega hash at 67 watts when we were running that I think it was those voltages 20 or 30 minutes into this video. So if you want to go back to have, you know, a watt for a mega hash, you can run that. Like I said, my goals are to get 70 watts at 70 mega hash. That's my sort of my goal. And then I'm gonna save that, and then at some point I want to do like a maximum mega hash return, just to see what this card's capable of. I'd like to see it get up to like 80 mega hash. That'd be cool. If anyone has hit like a stable 80 mega hash on this card, then yeah, please share what they've done. But for now, you know, 68.4, pretty stable with that. The best I saw was 68.85 mega hash at 74 watts. So yeah, I'm gonna end the video there, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe. And feel free to grab that config tweak at the bottom there. Have a good one.